Good morning, Hayom Yom, Yud Beis Sivan. So one of the blessings that us Jews make is the Shehakol blessing, which we make on most foods that we eat. And it means, thank you Hashem for bringing into existence all of this wonderful stuff, all of these wonderful foods. Thank you for giving us all of these wonderful foods. But there is an argument of what is the correct pronunciation. Some people say you're meant to say Shehakol nihiye b'dvarei. And some people say you're meant to say Shehakol nihiye b'dvarei. So the Rebbe begins by telling us, based on the ruling of the Alter Rebbe, that the correct pronunciation is Shehakol nihiye b'dvarei, with a Kametz. And just the reason the Alter Rebbe gives is that all of the brachos are meant to be in the past tense. Because the food that we are thanking Hashem for, although we're eating it now, it didn't come into existence now. It came into existence a long time ago. So we're meant to say, thank you for bringing this food into existence, past tense. And the word nihiye stresses the past tense. Then the Rebbe tells us and shares with us something very powerful, something very beautiful. And that is, in the 1930s, so Chabad Lubavitch started a new project, and they were producing a beautiful journal, a scholarly journal known as the Hatamim Journal. And the Friediker Rebbe was overseeing the project. And at the time, the Friediker Rebbe wrote a letter to somebody, and he said, I want you to write to me, I want you to tell me all of your criticism, all of your critique on the new project, on the Hatamim project. And he said, I will value and appreciate your criticism, your critique. I will find that a lot more interesting and valuable than all the compliments and praises that I am receiving right now. Your criticism, your critique is a lot more important to me, a lot more valuable to me, a lot more interesting to me. And then he proceeded to say that my father, the Rebbe Rashab, so he once wrote to me the following line, the following saying. He said, a person should love, a person should learn to love, a person should learn to appreciate critique and criticism and rebuke. Because when us humans get rebuked, when us humans get criticized or critiqued, it doesn't feel good. It feels a little uncomfortable, a little unpleasant. When people compliment us, it feels sweet, it feels great. But a child, to whatever feels good in the moment, that's what they're drawn to. Anything that's a little bit uncomfortable, they don't want to go towards, they run away from it. But an adult comes to realize, an adult comes to learn and appreciate that certain things that might be uncomfortable at first, really that's where the good stuff is at. It's initially uncomfortable, but that's where you really achieve things, that's where you really have a good time. And like as adults, we come to learn to even appreciate and like pushing our bodies to the limits, even if it's a little uncomfortable in the moment, pushing our minds to the limit, even if it's a little uncomfortable in the moment. And similarly, criticism, although it feels a little bit uncomfortable, if you learn to push past that, you learn to love that pain, you learn to realize that experience is actually very rewarding in the end. It makes you grow, it makes you a better person, it makes you have a better life. It's in your best interest to learn to love critique and love criticism. And the Rebbe Rashab concluded by saying that whoever does this, whoever learns to love and appreciate criticism, whoever learns to love and appreciate critique, they will achieve real heights. They will achieve real, true greatness. Because if you don't allow anybody to ever critique you, if you don't allow anybody to ever criticize you, if you don't allow anyone to ever tell you anything, you might achieve greatness of self-delusion. You might decide and deceive yourself and think that you've reached heights, and look, the proof in the pudding that nobody's telling you that you've done anything wrong. Everyone's praising you and clapping and telling you you've done a great job, but the real reason is because you just don't allow anybody to criticize you or critique you. And every time they do, you shut them down. So in your head, you'll think you achieved heights, but you're at heights of self-delusion. The way to achieve real heights, the way to really be great, the way to really succeed and really improve is through loving critique, loving criticism, asking people to critique you and criticize you, and that's how you'll achieve true greatness. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.